There is a thought that Jesus Christ only appears in the New Testament scriptures, but if we search the Old Testament scriptures, Jesus Christ can be seen in the Old Testament scriptures. Firstly, if we go to Genesis chapter 3 and we read when Adam and Eve was tempted and she ate of the fruit of the forbidden fruit, and then she gave to her husband also. If we read in Genesis chapter 3 verse 15, we see God is making a promise to Adam and Eve, and it reads, "And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." So we see God pronouncing judgment on the serpent, revealing to him that the woman's seed will come to bruise his head. So if we continue to search the scriptures, we would see and identify who the seed is. Further, if we go in Genesis chapter 21 and verses 12, we see God repeating the same idea of the seed coming in Isaac. And as we read Genesis chapter 21 and verses 12, "And God said unto Abraham, Let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman. In all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called." So we see that a seed will be called in Isaac. So we need to further identify this seed and who this seed represents. And if we go to the book of Galatians chapter 3, we see that the seed is being identified. Galatians chapter 3 verses 16. Let's go over there. And we see that it says, "Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made, and he saith not unto seeds as of many, but as of one, unto thy seed, which is Christ." So we see that the seed that was promised in the Garden of Eden after the fall of mankind, and the seed that was promised to Abraham, is identified as being Jesus Christ in the book of Galatians chapter 3 and verse 16. Furthermore, if we go to Genesis chapter 28, where we see Jacob having a dream about a ladder, and this is found in Genesis chapter 28 and verses 10. We see that Jacob went from Beersheba and went toward Haran, and he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven, and behold, angels of God ascending and descending on it. So Jacob here had a dream, and in vision he sees a ladder with angels ascending and descending upon it. So we need to identify what is this ladder, what is meant by this ladder in Jacob's dream. So we will go to John chapter 1. John chapter 1. John chapter 1 and verse 51, as we read, "And he saith unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto you, hereafter ye shall see heaven open, and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man." So Jesus Christ identified himself as being the ladder that Jacob dreamed of in his vision, in his dream. Also, we can go to Exodus, the 3rd chapter, where Moses is drawn to this burning bush, and we realize He's having a talk with God. Right? Exodus chapter 3. Chapter 3. We're going to go to verses 13 and see what is happening there. Moses at the burning bush. And Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of your fathers have sent me unto you, and they shall say unto me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you. So God had spoken to Moses at the burning bush and identified himself as the great I am, and told Moses to say to the children of Israel, I am have sent me to rescue you from bondage. So we need to identify this great I am. And if we go back again to the book of John chapter 8, John chapter 8, the great I am is again identified. John chapter 8, verses 56. We start at verse 56. That's Jesus Christ having a conversation with the Jews. And hear what he says to them. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it, and was glad. Then said the Jews unto him, Thou art not yet 50 years old, and hast seen Abraham? Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. So Jesus Christ identifies himself as the great I am. Again, another point of evidence. If we go to the book of Exodus again, chapter 17, where the children of Israel needed water to drink, and they were complaining, so Moses had to ask God for some water. Exodus chapter 17 and verse 6, and hear what it says, that and behold, and God said to Moses, And behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, and the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders. So Moses at that point in time spoke to the rock, and the children of Israel were provided with water to drink. So again, we need to identify the rock as we compare scripture with scripture. We go to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Let's see what is happening here. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, we start at verse 1. It says that, Moreover, brethren, I would not that you should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses into the cloud and in the sea, and did all drink the same spiritual meat, did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of the spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ. So we see the rock was identified as Jesus Christ. So it's clearly that Jesus Christ has always been in the Bible, from Genesis throughout the Bible all the way to Revelations. And if we go again, some more evidence of this is found in the book of Luke chapter 24, where after the resurrection of Jesus Christ, he reveals to them some more information about himself being written by Moses and the prophets. Luke chapter 24, and we're going to start at verse 25. And it reads, Then he said unto them, O fools, and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Ought not Christ to have suffered these things, and to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. The things concerning himself. So all along, Moses and the prophets wrote about Jesus Christ. And furthermore, if we go down to verses 44 of the same chapter, Luke 24 verse 44, it says that, and he said unto them, these are the words which I speak unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me. Then opened he their understanding, that they might understand the scriptures, and said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behoved Christ to suffer and to rise from the dead the third day. So we see that Moses and the prophets wrote about Jesus Christ all along. So we need to search the scriptures daily and to find the truth about Jesus Christ. Thank you. Have a good evening. God bless.